Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we're looking at some, well, pretty sobering data from the London Property Digest.
Staggering, really.
It is. The central question is, why has London basically stopped building homes?
And we're not talking about a slowdown here. This is a system that has, for all intents and purposes, just seized up.
Exactly. So let's start with the big number. London has a government target to build 88,000 new homes a year.
88,000, that's the official goal.
And the reality, according to this data, last year construction started on just 5,891.
Wow, that's a 94% failure rate.
It's not a miss, it's a flat line. That's a market that has practically stopped breathing.
It is. It's the lowest number since records began 40 years ago. And if you zoom out, London is performing worse than Paris, New York, Melbourne.
So this is a uniquely London problem right now.
It seems to be, yes. It looks like a systemic collapse.
And I think it's important to get this out of the way first. You hear the usual arguments, greedy developers hoarding land.
Yeah.
But the breakdown in these reports shows that's just not what's happening. This collapse is across the board.
Completely. Private sector starts are down 79%. But then you look at affordable housing, that's down 85%.
And council housing.
Down 94%.
That was the stat that really stood out to me. The number of council-funded homes that started construction in the entire 2024-25 period was 100.
100 for the whole city.
You just can't blame profit margins or private sector greed for that.
No. When the public sector and the private sector both hit a brick wall at the exact same moment, you know you're dealing with a much deeper structural problem.
Okay, so let's dig into the why. The research points to a kind of two-part disaster. The first is a regulatory bottleneck.
Yes. The Building Safety Regulator, or BSR.
Which was brought in after the Grenfell tragedy.
Yeah.
And of course, safety is non-negotiable.
Absolutely. No one is questioning the motive. But the implementation has created this massive choke point in the system.
It's like a second gatekeeper, right?
Okay.
Used to be, you get planning permission and you're ready to build.
You'd pop the champagne, call the contractors, yeah. Now, the BSR steps in after you've already spent millions getting approved.
And it adds, what, another 8 months or so to the timeline?
At least. And here's the kicker. It's only approving about 1/3 of applications. So you have tens of thousands of homes just sitting in limbo, bleeding money.
Which leads directly to the second factor, doesn't it? While all this is happening, the actual money to build is vanishing.
This is the crucial part. We have to talk about how these big projects are funded. It's a model called forward funding.
So you need the cash up front before you lay a single brick.
Exactly. And in London, that cash has historically come from overseas investors or people buying flats off plan.
But these reports point out that after years of higher taxes and levies on foreign buyers, that capital has just...
It's packed up and left. It's gone to other cities.
So you don't just lose the person who buys the finished flat. You lose the construction loan to build the tower in the first place.
You lose the entire financial model. And that has created what the reports call zombie projects.
I saw this figure. There are currently 281,000 homes in London with full planning approval.
The paperwork is done. They're ready to go on paper.
But they're not being built because they are, and this is the term they use, financially toxic.
The cost of compliance, the lack of funding, it now costs more to build them than they're worth. The math is broken.
And that anecdote about the developer with the warehouse site? That just says it all.
Oh, it's the perfect illustration.
So he gets approval for 56 homes, crunches the numbers with all the new costs, and realizes he'd lose a fortune.
So he sells the site.
To a self-storage company.
A self-storage company,
Yep.
Yes.
Just think about that for a second. If you're out there struggling to find a place to live, our economy is telling developers that it's more viable to store your old sofa than to house your family.
That's the reality. Logistics is profitable. Housing right now is not.
So you have all these individual policies, the safety checks, the taxes. That made sense in isolation.
Of course. They were all well-intentioned.
But when you add them all together, they've created a system where building a home has become financially irrational.
Precisely. London didn't explicitly choose to stop building. It just designed a system where the math no longer works.
And until those economics change, all the political targets in the world are just words.
They won't build a single house.
A sobering thought to leave everyone with, then. If we have nearly 300,000 approved homes that nobody can actually afford to build, are we regulating the solution out of existence?
That's the big question.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.